Hello, Jade.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
The world is exploding,
The
kind of
world, the world, the
literally.
world is exploding. Minutes before we started, you saw. And it's not minutes. The article's from 2 hours ago, but before we started, I saw an article that was very shocking. But it's not surprising.
If I think
it's
of
just how
their
it
time
is.
zone as not too far from my own, like this shit happened a
It's
while
an
ago.
hour ahead of you, or
So
two
yeah, this shit
hours.
happened a little while ago because the pictures I saw were like during the day.
They could have just been old photos. They don't have to be new.
True, true.
Yeah. All right. So first, how was your day?
But I just
So
woke
far.
up.
Nah, you didn't just wake up. You woke up
I didn't just wake up.
at
I
two
woke
hours.
up, realized it's past 8 p.m.,
Now it's 9.
and then just sort of like jumped on my machine and
Oh
started getting
shit.
shit together.
Yeah. Well, my day. My day was a bit rocky at first, but it really picked up. This morning I woke up covered in sweat. I was sweaty. The back of my neck was a sweaty fucking mess. I was not feeling too good this morning. I think I was coming down with a cold, but I feel a lot better now now later in the day. Uh, just by proxy of getting through the day. Had some pretty mid chicken for my lunch. It tasted like rubber at times, but got me through the day. Now I'm here. I think that's good. Um, yeah. This time we actually have prepared conversations we want to talk about. And maybe before we get into the serious stuff, let's talk about some lighthearted things. Let's talk about some lighthearted things.
I
Like
thought we could end off lighthearted considering how
we
heavy
can
some of the
open it and
content.
begin it. We can open it and end it lighthearted.
All right.
We'll soften the blow and then send people out a little nice. We can talk about I've been this past couple days I've been having Jade watch my favorite one of my favorite mangas, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I fucking love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, JGBA, JoJo, whatever you want to call it. Love it so much. And part one's a little rough. Part one's been rough. Uh, yeah, you said yesterday that you had some opinions you wanted to say on it. I don't know if you remember them though, because that was a
I
whole 12
mean,
hours of
I
sleep
do
ago.
just generally have opinions about the
Yeah,
show,
yeah,
I
tell me.
think,
Yeah, tell me.
but it feels like it's a fighting anime.
Now, that's because part one is a fighting anime. Every single
Yeah,
part
but
of
what
it.
you're describing, like you've gone into these like conceptualizations of like parts 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, there's a lot of fighting in this anime.
It is a battle anime, but it's not
So
it's not it's not an average one where it's just
I never said it was
yeah, no,
average.
it's a
I never
battle
said it was
anime
average.
that is completely unique in the way it does its stuff.
But before we
The
started watching JoJo, when we first started talking anime, what did I tell you about my taste in
you
anime? My
don't
very
typically
weird
like
taste
you
in
don't
anime.
typically like battle anime, battle focused,
When
fighting
it
focused show.
becomes more about the fight in front of them than like there was a certain point where it pulled in Naruto on me, I think in the last couple of episodes. Where it's just like here is the deep cut flashback of like this tertiary character story of like their childhood memory about this moment that happened, and I'm just like, you're Naruto rising on me here.
Part one has a lot of that. Part one does have a lot of that.
I'm not saying this is a criticism against the
No,
series as a whole, but like
it's
this
not
this
your
is
style.
what
It's not what you
what I've
like.
encountered
Yeah.
so far. Like it's a pretty anime, number one.
Oh, it's
It's
very
very
pretty.
good looking. The art style is absolutely something
David
I
Productions is the
think
people who
looks
animate
good.
it, and they're very good at speed, especially
The
speed
the
and a lot
character
of
proportions are a bit weird.
that's just JoJo's style.
Yeah,
That's the
but
style.
I was always remember the I don't know if you want to pull up images of these animes I'll mention, right?
Right.
But the art styles and visual styles that I liked were things like Ergo Proxy or Death Note. Like, even if there are supernatural elements to the world seems to have a closer cohesion with our own.
I
And
thought
I
I was
like
looking at the. I thought I was looking at the album art for that one Evanescence album.
that. It does. It does. But like it's a gorgeous anime. I never got to
comparative
finish it.
to JoJo, where they just men. Like this is the art style of JoJo. Like there you go. See, a lot of dynamic poses. The manga art is insane. To
I
me,
mean, to put it to you this way, right? Ergo Proxy, the outro song, right?
right?
It's Radiohead.
Oh God.
The outro song for
Oh
when like you
God.
watch an Ergo Proxy episode, the credits roll and Radiohead starts playing. It's fucking amazing. Let's be
Probably should
honest,
be
that's
watching
awesome.
out what comes up on Google search.
But like we've seen JoJo, but like what about the art style of Ergo Proxy?
Yeah, Ergo Proxy. I can see a lot of
And you'll see there are elements in there that are not human, not necessarily, you know, but there seems to be a cohesion with our world.
yeah.
This is very Blade Runner-esque, by the way. This Ergo Proxy is very Blade Runner-esque.
I'll have to watch it. I'll
I
have to
I
watch
still
it.
want to finish it. I
We
never
should watch it
finished it.
together.
This
We
is
should watch
one
it
that
together for
I
sure.
think I only watched like 4 or 5 episodes,
Wow.
and then the person I got access to it from, like, that's all they had.
Seeing these three together is I'm
Oh,
sure.
Lane. Serial
I never
Experiments,
finished Lane. I
Lane.
never finished Lane.
Didn't you? Oh
No.
my god, Lane is so
I
good.
got like halfway through it and then
What
I
an
got
ending.
distracted. I got distracted, so I didn't finish it.
The thing is, what you
I did
notice,
not
like,
dislike it though. I liked it. I just didn't finish
what
it.
you'll notice is how much these things focus very much, like, Evangelion seems to be the outlier here because most people view that as a mech anime. But
No,
originally,
I
if
don't
you
think
just
anymore.
watch like the original run of Evangelion, like it's definitely not a mech
No, I don't
anime.
think people see it as a mech anime. I think that's a little bit
I've
of a
been I've had
miscalculation.
that hurled at me when I mention Evangelion
Not
because I
anymore. Not
don't like mech
nowadays.
anime.
Not nowadays.
Back then, I would tell people like I hate mech anime, and then they're like, "What are you watching?" I'm like Evangelion. They're like, "That's a mech anime. You like mech anime?" I'm like, "You don't know.
You don't
You don't know.
understand.
Evangelion will fuck your shit up.
I haven't seen it all the way through. I only saw a couple episodes.
It'll fuck your shit up."
It's one of those things where I'm intimidated by the amount of like side movies and like
No, no,
supplemental
no.
material. And I'm just like, I don't want to watch all that. I don't know. I always
Here's
get
the
put off
thing,
even by the main
right?
stories if I see stuff like that.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and here's what I'll tell you. The original series run of Evangelion, capped off by End of Evangelion, is all you need to watch.
Right.
Everything else is ancillary. Everything else is like like the big fans will come at me for this. I know they will. This is my hardest take on anime community. They will come at me. You don't need to watch all that. I
Yeah.
only watched that original run and End of Evangelion, and you know what? It's satisfying. It's it's not meant to end on a note that there are things that aren't going to be explored and uncovered and all of that. Like
Right.
it's a different experience. Like a lot of animes, people have told me like Hunter x Hunter is one I haven't watched.
Right.
And people tell me that, oh, it's inspiring, and then they show me these clips of like, oh, these characters get through. Even One Piece is like, oh, they strive, but I don't know. The animes I watch are more like cynical.
Yeah. You don't like it when people have a good ending.
Like, no, it's not necessarily that. It's just like, don't win with the power of friendship. Win with the power of like, you know, Why is there a win condition? Like Evangelion is like the world is quote
Because
unquote like
I can explain it. It's just it feels nice. It feels nice when Luffy fucking kicks the shit out of the guy, and it's fun to watch a fight. That's why. But it's also nice to watch a short show where everything's miserable and everyone dies at the end. I understand both appeals.
I
I
mean, there's
understand both.
also the fact that I'm a big fan of Furikuri.
I have not seen Fuliguli yet.
Furikuri is it's 6
Another one I need to
episodes.
watch. We absolutely need to
Literally,
watch that.
we could get through Furikuri in an evening. Furikuri is fucking short. And it is like
It's been a while since I watched a whole anime in
three
like one day.
three things, right? Just 3 things. Number 1, the soundtrack is absolutely fucking spectacular. It's done by a band called The Pillows. They're a Japanese rock band inspired by the Pixies.
Hmm.
Number 2, the visual style is wild. It's both like stretching reality, but also in a very meta way. At one point, they have a manga sequence in the anime. Most of the scenes in the show make great wallpapers. Look at that kid standing on the rock with a guitar.
Okay. Oh,
That was
here,
my
yeah.
wallpaper for ages on one of my computers. Because look at that image. That image alone, this whole show, Vosh's
Yes, I was just about to
head
say Vosh's
is
head is this.
stolen from
Yeah, he
this.
said
Vosh's
yeah.
head, he was a fan of this. Like,
He has the full he has
so
stuff
that's,
he has fully cool stuff in his background, like the moped.
and then number 3, the story is so wacky but human,
That's
if
I
that
believe
makes
it.
sense.
I do really want to watch this with you.
Like this is the show that I've wanted to watch with people, and like nobody gets, nobody does. This show is so amazing. Like I want to introduce people to the music, the sound, the feel. The show has a warmth to it, even in like sad moments.
Right,
It's
right.
amazing.
I
Shit, that might be my favorite anime. It's 6 episodes long.
I I understand that passion entirely. That like the way you were getting about it, that was very cute, very cute of you. um, yeah, yeah. I'll
But
definitely have to watch that with you at some point. Hopefully soon.
the world is exploding right now, though.
The world is exploding. The world is exploding indeed. So
You
yesterday,
can only avoid
the
it for so long.
yeah the other day, there was what was it? What was it? It was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, a bunch of Hezbollah phones, or sorry, pagers, exploded. Just exploded. 8 people were killed.
Paging Rustum, paging Rustum.
8 people were killed. I think 400 were injured. And now I think I want to put this into perspective of what this must have been like and what this looked like and stuff. A lot of people have. I feel like the first impression of a lot of people is, oh, a bunch of Hezbollah agents, or a bunch of Hezbollah officials, whatever, exploded. It was in their pocket and exploded in like Hezbollah buildings, right? In their Hezbollah headquarters. No,
Underground in the Hezbollah.
they
No,
were in the
this happened at coffee
streets.
shops.
This happened in like the streets. It was
Motherfuckers were grocery shopping.
yeah, they were like at like a fucking restaurant, and then they just explode. That's like they're not in the Hezbollah. They're in the middle of
The
public
waiters standing
exploding.
next to
This is
them
a
taking
war
their
crime.
order. Like,
This is a
this
war
is.
crime. This was a war crime.
This was a war
This
crime.
was absolutely a war crime. And then they did it again the next day with walkie-talkies, and even more people died and were
Do you know
injured.
what was really sickening about the walkie-talkies bit?
They were doing it there was a funeral going on.
There
Is
were
that yeah,
funerals
there was funerals
happening
from the
because
day
in
before
Islam, you have to bury the person the same day or like as
within the
soon as
same time.
possible. Do you like if circumstances don't allow? But like they kind of knew that staggering it that way.
Yeah,
Like the people
they
who
knew.
are
That's how
doing
Islam
this
is.
knew that they were doing that.
Yeah.
That's like it adds another aspect to me of that.
Israel loves doing that, and we know it's Israel. We know it's Mossad who did that.
Yep,
But
absolutely.
Israel loves doing that. There was the Palestinian journalist who was killed, and then they bombed her funeral the next day, or like 2 days later. They always do that type of shit. They always double tap. They always do that.
Like it's actually it's beyond war crime. Like war crime is one thing, but it's
It's a
like
terrorist attack.
it
It is
is
a
such a
terrorist attack.
level of evil. It is meant to instill the kind of fear like
It's like you are never safe. We have bombs everywhere. We don't even have to send a missile to kill you. And of course, the way they actually did this, it wasn't like they just remotely hacked a bomb. They intercepted a shipment and they planted explosives inside all the devices and then had them all go off.
yeah,
So
but then just to add insult to injury, now they are sending
yeah,
missiles.
so this is where things actually get kind of crazy. So as I was actually gathering an article for the first, the walkie-talkie situation here. As I was grabbing an article for here from the AP Press, I noticed a headline that Israel launches airstrikes against Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. This may become nothing, but this may also become the start of the war. Uh, Israel launches airstrikes against Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Yeah, so it's started. Uh, the war that has been brewing
So
on the
so what are the
edge.
details here, right?
The strikes came moments
You
before Hezbollah leader Hassan
Nasrallah.
Nasrallah began to speak about the attacks earlier this week, causing the pages of walkie-talkies carried by thousands of groups, killing 37 people and injuring 3,000 people. 37 killed, 3,000 injured. That's insane. That's legitimately a terrorist attack.
That's a lot.
Hold on, let me compare it to this. So hold on, I'm assuming. Hold on. So let's see how many Paris attacks. Let's like Brussels airport explosion. This was a long time ago, but how many people died in this? 35 people were killed, 300 were injured. This was unequivocally a terrorist attack. It was done by ISIS. The Belgian airport got exploded. 37 people, 3,000 injured. Across a general sweep of public against this is unequivocally a terrorist attack. Like there's no
Yeah.
argument for it not being that. If this was done by a non-government like force, it would undoubtedly be that.
Yeah.
This is a criminal act, is major terrorist operation and amounts to declaration of war. Nasrallah said, promising retribution, promising retribution, but what? But also acknowledging that the device explosions had dealt group a hard and severe blow. While he spoke, a pair of sonic booms ran out across Beirut, which Lebanon official news agency attributed to Israeli warplanes. All right, so Israel government is under pressure to secure its northern towns, blah, 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 blah. Nasrallah reiterated on Thursday that the U.S. designated terrorist group wouldn't stop attacking Israel until the war in Gaza ended. Nasrallah said that the group received message that Israel won't stop firing on northern. Hezbollah's okay. Israel in recent days expanded. Okay, Thursday there are more plans. What the fuck? Wait, hold on. There were more than one headline about this, but does this article not actually talk about this?
It looks like it.
Hold on.
This
There was
article is awful.
That was an article from the New York. What was it? It was from the Wall Street Journal. See, there's other news stations are talking about it. What about Free Press Journal? Israel launches airstrike across Lebanon after Hezbollah chief said cross red line. So Israel on Thursday launched airstrikes across Lebanon after Hezbollah chief. Okay, blah 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 blah. On Wednesday, okay, that's the walkie-talkie stuff. Lebanon. Okay, so it's literally too early to get really any details on it. We just know that there are missiles being
Wow.
fired. That's how early this is being
Jeez.
reported. Here's a Twitter account breaking heavy bombardments by the Israel Air Force on Hezbollah calls in Lebanon as we're sending a clear message. Actually, this is some fucking Israeli guy. Look at his profile picture. It's a wolf with a sword. He looks like Geralt with a wolf. There are some videos here they have.
Let's see.
ابو حد بيتي بلزق بيتي لايك
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, that's definitely. So it actually looks like this is on an actual compound and not just a city center. Oh no, that's a city.
Well,
Unless, that's a different photo, I think.
that looks like apartments.
This one looked like it was a compound on top of a hill.
بيتي
This looks like a city center, but it also looks like a
بلز
different explosion. This one's billowing out differently.
بيتي لايك
So
Be
these could be all
Like
different angles.
later.
This
لايك
it could
different
be
angles and
حد
later.
different angles, different areas. This looks like this one.
حد
This
بيتي
one.
بلزق بيتي حد
It's hard to tell.
We'll have to wait for details, but holy shit, that's so like
Let's see what news.
Lebanon is
That's
pulled into this now.
well, Lebanon was always full of this. So I guess it's important to talk about Hezbollah and Lebanon and the situation over there and stuff and what it actually looks like. So Lebanon is north of Israel. Blah 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 blah. We kind of know the general layout of what has. So I guess I probably should actually go more into it because a lot of people actually don't know much about Lebanon. So Lebanon, north of Israel. Beirut's their biggest city. Beirut. For a time was kind of one of those big colonial cities that was like
Yeah.
all the rich people would go on vacation at. And honestly is a pretty beautiful city. Let's hopefully not. Yeah, Beirut is
far enough.
pretty
Didn't
pretty.
England own this?
England owned it. It was most of the time though it was actually Ottoman territory. The French owned it. No, Lebanon was owned by the French. Lebanon was owned by the French. This was a French area.
Right.
So
Right.
it's pretty. It's a very pretty area.
It is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's got Mediterranean climate too. So this is
when it's not bombed out.
This happened from that ammonium nitrate explosion, which I was actually going to bring up real quick. So Beirut is actually
this is where that explosion
that
happened.
huge fucking explosion that was like nuke bombs, like a mini nuke sized, where they accidentally had a fucking ammonium nitrate explode. Wonder if it'll be mentioned here. A massive explosion in the port of Beirut resulted in the deaths of 203 people, additional 3 missing, and the wounding of 6,500. Foreigners from at least 22 countries were among the casualties, and further 100. Yeah. So this explosion was huge, and they're still rebuilding from it. Like that's the aftermath of it. It's like the Halifax explosion, if you know that. It was like that. So
it's
yeah,
awful.
yeah. It was.
I just remember when this came over the news. It was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Who bombed what?
Yeah.
في البداية ممكن
This is a job
تعطينا
interview.
لمحة عن
That's how bad it was. She got blown out of her desk there. Yeah. And they're still rebuilding from this. I thought it was a thing to mention because it's a pretty notable
it's
thing.
things like this, right? It's things like this. This does make me glad that I live far away from like population centers or anything like.
You live in Cape Town. What are you fucking talking about? You live in.
I live on the ass end of Cape Town.
Yeah, but like, if
I look out my window,
if Cape Town gets nuked, you're gonna get nuked. I'm sorry. No, if
what if I told you that the geography works in my favor?
Nah.
There's kind of a biggish hill between here and Cape Town itself. So if somebody drops a big
hill will protect you from the nuclear fire.
No, but it will give me a little bit more survivability than like the asshole.
I'm actually someone who doesn't live anywhere near major population centers because I live on the Jersey Shore, which is all low density, medium density areas. Anyway.
Yeah, but you're like next door to New York.
Not next door. New York's miles and miles and miles away. New York is like an hour drive away.
Cape Town's like an hour drive away.
No, shut the... We already went over this. Cape Town being an hour away is more of an issue of your road system than it is of distance.
It's a one straight road.
We're not going over this again. We already argued about this. And I would turn out to be right that New York is significantly farther away from me than you were in Cape Town. Anyway, so Lebanon, you can see whenever a Wikipedia article has like 1 million establishments of government, and most of them are after the 1900s, A lot of shit happened.
Yeah.
A lot of shit happened here.
The French mandate.
The French mandate, withdraw French troops, Israeli troops withdrawn, Syrian troops withdrawn. A lot of shit happens in Lebanon. I forgot to mute my fucking phone.
Well done.
Oh, maybe we can talk about this. We can talk about that. Oh, hold on, let me pull up the article for that, real quick.
Wait, what's that?
I'll, it'll be a little surprise.
Oh no.
I'll just keep that over there. I'll keep a Newsweek article of that opened over there. Hopefully, no video starts playing. No, I won't. Okay, I'll have that opened over there. We'll talk about it after this. After this. So Lebanon, is hold on, not government and politics. There we go. We can talk about this. Lebanon is obviously a Muslim country, not very friendly with Israel. They went to war with Israel back in like the 6-Day War and stuff. Wait, male homosexuality is illegal. What about female homosexuality? They're not very kind to Israel. They don't like him too much. But most of Lebanon's government is actually people who are also part of the military group Hezbollah. So, I want to see if I can find a link here to Hezbollah without having to actually. This is not going to actually.
Don't be lazy.
I'm not going to be lazy. I'll type it in. Hezbollah. So Hezbollah is, according to this, a paramilitary group. They're more of like a small army. Really, they're like a legitimate army. They have no official government that commands them. They are their own government, but they are heavily tied to the government of Lebanon. There's a lot of people in Lebanon who are like members of Hezbollah, working with Hezbollah, or like friendly to Hezbollah.
Okay.
So they were founded directly as opposition to Israel, and they're funded by Iran. You can see a lot of these ideologies here. They're just a standard Islamic militarist group.
Okay, it's just one of those groups.
Yeah, but they have a lot of people. They're huge.
So they're a very popular one of those groups.
Size 100,000.
That's according to Hassan, who may or may not be fudging the number slightly, but I feel
that
like
is
smaller.
Yeah, that is. If we go,
I feel like that's an underestimate.
IDF member count is like only 69,000 more. But their reserves are a lot higher. But active personnel.
Yeah,
but then also at the same time,
Israel view like many citizens.
Everyone in Israel is like a reserve. Yeah, pretty much. Anyone who is of a certain age is a reserve. So this is essentially like the entire population of Israel's fighting male population. So this reserves. It's not like the Americans, where like like if America did this thing, the American reserve would be millions and millions and millions and millions of people. This is essentially every single working male in Israel. Is what this number is.
How do you, as an American, feel about conscription?
I fucking hate it. Fuck that shit. That's also because I live in a massive country. That's because I live in a massive country where, like, if I was living in like fucking Georgia or some shit where Russia's on my border, if I lived in Ukraine, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, conscription's kind of needed. You kind of need to make sure that everyone in the country knows how to shoot an invading soldier in the head. Where there's like, if you're on the border of Russia or something, or if you're fucking South Korea, yeah, I think maybe at least some sort of military training, or at least some sort of survival training should be in order, considering what the fuck is on your border.
Training and conscription.
I know, I'm aware. But like in Sweden, for example, Sweden has conscription. Sweden, you go and you do like a military type service for a year and you're done. That's all you do. Yeah.
Who does Sweden fight?
No one. I think Sweden doing that is stupid. But I'm saying Sweden's version of that put into like South Korea or Ukraine,
it's kind of like
Azerbaijan, Armenia.
It's to me the concept of like Switzerland having the best army in the world, and it's like,
well,
why?
The thing is, they had that as more of a tradition now, because it's like they used to have that because legitimately, if they didn't, people would kill them. Like that's the reason why Nazis didn't invade, is because it was not worth it to invade Switzerland.
Yeah, because they were the World Bank as well.
Yeah.
They worked with the Nazis.
Yeah. But even if they didn't do that, it would have been disastrous. The thing is the same reason why no one wants to invade Iran, because Iran's also disastrous to invade.
I don't know how much you know about the geography of Switzerland.
It's mountains all the way around
But
pretty much.
beyond the mountains, right? Beyond just it being mountainous, Switzerland has designed their defenses
Yeah. Oh,
around those
I'm
mountains,
completely aware.
meaning that invading Switzerland, even with the entire goddamn nation of Russia, would just be unfeasible.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. So yeah, they have all their shit set to explode. Like all their bridges and tunnels are set to blow in the state of like if they're invaded. Like if they're
Yeah,
invaded,
no,
literally all the road systems
they
and
can
railways are gonna
basically
explode.
turtle for eternity.
Yeah. Or at least long enough to get like to do what they need. Um.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Hezbollah is heavily enshrined and ingrained into. I did not mean to click on Bosnia. They're heavily ingrained into the Lebanon government. So because Israel wants to go to war with Hezbollah, because Hezbollah constantly has had issues with Israel, they're literally formed in
I
opposition
mean,
to
yeah,
them.
they're forming
You
an
can see all these
opposition.
stuff here. There's constant raids done against Israeli like settlements in the north. If we open up a map here, Google Maps. I'm gonna open this up on a second screen though, just in case it opens up on my Google account and I dox myself. It did that,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna zoom
Yep.
out. So I'm not
Smart,
gonna be
smart.
over there. I'm gonna be over here. All right,
The
that's
thing
cool.
is,
I'm so smart.
on
So
a
yeah,
long enough timeline, right? 1,000 years from now, when we look back at this situation, are we not just going to realize that, like, you know, in a way, the formation of Israel was kind of done incredibly poorly?
oh, we already know that now.
Yeah, but like nobody's talking about it now. I'm talking about once we all come down and we
That's how it
start
always
looking at
goes. That's how it
organizations like
always goes.
Hezbollah, like uh, Hamas, and all of them that were just like, hey, yeah, like we were put into an extreme situation and became extreme people.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, pretty much. It's a mess. So here's Lebanon. Here's Beirut up here. Uh, this is not the actual Tripoli. That's a second Tripoli. The real
No,
Tripoli is over
that's
here. That's fake
yeah.
Tripoli. Um, little thing about Lebanon too. If you know Carthage, they started from over here. This is Phoenicia, the city of
Yeah.
Tyre,
I
Sidon,
actually, my cousin's boyfriend does not
Byblos.
live too far from Lebanon. They live in that part of Turkey that's like
Oh, over
down
here.
there.
Oh, over here.
Yeah, they live in like that area of
Oh,
Turkey.
gosh, they're like right near Syria.
Yeah, they border Syria
That's
essentially.
that's crazy. Syria, that's a whole fucking other issue. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, Syria. Jesus. But yeah, no, the France owned this part. They owned Syria and Lebanon. They owned all this after World War One and until I think the 50s. So
Yeah.
Lebanon came out of that environment. But before that, it was an Ottoman controlled area for probably like 500 years. Uh,
Longer. Well,
Not the Ottomans
before the
honestly did.
Ottomans,
Before the
before the
Ottomans,
Ottomans,
it was like the Mamluks, I think.
the big
Yeah,
boys were the Byzantines, but they didn't have
No, the
Lebanon.
Byzantines did not sit around this area for a long time. This was like
No.
heavily Muslim controlled for centuries.
Yeah.
We can look down that on the actual Lebanon thing. History, Ottoman age. Yeah, Ottomans came over in 1500. So from 1500 to 1900, that's like 14 years. 400 years. So 400 years of Ottoman rule, essentially. And before them, it was owned by several different Muslim empires.
Yeah.
And then before them, it's, yeah, so from what we know, there are missile strikes in Beirut on Hezbollah compounds and stuff. This is a very uninformative topic here. We're just kind of ranting. We're not really having any specific information being said. It's a lot of nothing. We're talking like
Well,
politicians. I mean, what's there to say? We don't know anything that's happening. This is how
we're
the size of the article. Most of it's talking about what happened earlier. This is where they start
yeah,
talking
that's
about the
kind of what I'm
strikes.
saying. Like what you said makes sense. That like it's still fresh enough that real details haven't come out yet. It's very hard to go on like
Yeah,
who did what when if nobody's saying anything, and the article is kind of
I'm just
trash.
trying
The
to trying
article
to
is kind of trash. I'm kind of like
I'm just trying to
disappointed.
like give a bit of context to what's going on here. We have like a legitimate army about like let's see like organization funding. I mean, no, we know where they get the funding from. army strength. They get their funding from Iran, and most of their equipment is Iranian, whatever the fuck. So along with Hezbollah does not reveal its armed strength. The Dubai-based Gulf Research Center estimated in 2006 that the armed wing composed 1,000 full-time members, along with a further 6,000 attendants and volunteers. According to Iranian Fars news agency, Hezbollah has up to 65,000 fighters. In October 2023, Al Jazeera cited Hezbollah expert Nicholas Blandford as an estimating at least 60,000, including full-time reservists, and that it had a stockpile of missiles from 14,000 missiles in 2006 to about 1,500. It is often described as as a more military powerful than the Lebanese army. Israeli commander Guy Zur called Hezbollah by far the greatest guerrilla group in the world. 45,000 rockets are believed to be in their possession. Katyusha 122 rockets, which are the fucking Russian ones that fire like in like the big barrages.
You know what?
They're cool as fuck.
Take away these people's guns, their rocket, everybody who lives in that area. Take away all the modern military equipment and make them fight over it with fucking swords. Bring back the Bronze Age.
Bring back the Crusades. You mean? You want to bring back the Crusades?
No.
Curious Middle Eastern combat being fought with swords and medieval combat. I think you want the Crusades.
You thought that you knew the Crusades.
No! Who called it this? Russia. You can't call it that. Do we have to censor that?
I don't think we have to censor that unless you want to.
No, I don't think we have to, because Vosh says it all the time on stream. I don't think we have to say it. I mean, it's
He does.
It's called Fago. It's Fago.
He does. But he says the thing on stream.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he says the funny word.
Oh, my brain must just like block it out.
Yeah, it's because when you hear a gay say it, it's just like, yeah, it's whatever. Lebanese military activities, alleged suicide attacks, a lot of them. Bosnian, I know they sent volunteers to Bosnia. 2006 Lebanon war. They're involved in a lot. They're involved in a lot of stuff. So it's very concerning that Israel has actually taken the first step here to bomb them. It's actually extremely concerning, and something that should definitely be watched with every single eye ever. And Mike forgot to mute the phone, even though I already got a notification once from it.
Oh my god!
All right, so I think that's everything I can really say about this situation. It's crazy. Maybe by next podcast, the whole ass war will have started, and there's far more to talk about.
More to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
it's crazy. The whole Middle East is
it's strange how different the response here is about a lot of the stuff, though. Because yeah, we have a very large Muslim population. We are quote unquote a Christian-led country.
Yeah,
but we have a very large Muslim population.
Yeah.
And we all get along, like, across those lines.
Nice.
In fact, it's actually quite common for a lot of Muslim and Christian households to have, like, mixed family between them. So it's like, oh, my mom's Christian.
That shit would never happen here. I guess the closest thing I could say that America is like, because America is very much a Christian country. Like, there are obviously religious minorities, but they're not significant at all. It's really just different denominations of Christians. Is the whole deal. Like, you have your Protestants for the most part, some Catholics in like coastal cities and stuff.
I think South Africa is like less than 10% Catholic.
Not surprising considering the English were the ones that were there.
Wait, the article actually does. Let me see if I can find this.
What article? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for this.
Religion in South Africa. Oh, I see. Christianity, 85%. Wait, hold on. Do you back up? 85% of the population professing to be Christian. Oh, so that's like pretty much America's number 2.
Yeah, so we're 85% Christian. Like we are mainly.
In my head,
a
I was
Christian
thinking like
country,
60%
but,
Christian in my head.
yeah, I
80% is
mean,
a significant majority. 6%,
in 1996, it was
96,
6%.
and that's before a lot of the fucking apartheid people left and fled.
Well,
So it
this is
probably went
this is
down.
this is around when they fled,
Oh,
I'd
so
say.
okay.
But like less than 1.5% of the population. But in Cape Town,
Cape Town, it's probably like a shit
we
ton more.
have, yeah, like majority in Cape Town.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well then I guess it would be very similar to how New Jersey is mostly Catholic, even though like that's very much an outlier for the rest of the country.
We have Hinduism as well. I think that this is a big number of Hindu
That is a big
outside of the Hindu country.
that is a big number. New Jersey also has a lot of Hindu people because we have a lot of immigrants from India coming in, especially recently.
But
I think
they,
actually recently India overtook Italy as the most immigrant income heavy country into New Jersey.
yeah, it makes
Overall.
sense, KwaZulu-Natal, because when you think of Indian South African food, you think Durban, which is in KZN.
Durban.
Durban.
Durban. What was the thing you wanted to show me earlier? You talked about.
I wanted to get your reaction to the experiment, because they're coming up with new things, right?
So
In
what did
science,
hold on,
where
I'm so
animal
confused.
testing is going to become less necessary,
Oh,
right?
that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
But a couple of years ago, many years ago now, actually, there was a scientist called Harry Harlow, I believe his name was.
That's concerning name, honestly. That name sounds like a fucking I don't trust alliterated names.
And Harry
Suspect my
Harlow
name is
was
alliterated.
kind of evil because
Monkey studies.
he did the monkey studies.
Monkey studies.
He did
Pit of
nature.
despair?
Yes.
What
Like,
the fuck?
where did you see?
I saw it on the list there. Pit of despair under monkeys on the side there.
Yes, the pit of despair.
What the
He created a
fuck?
torture box. He
No!
created a torture box for the monkeys. Basically,
Rape rat?
yep.
What the
Yep.
fuck?
So a vertical chamber apparatus he used in experiments to produce an animal mode of depression.
A
A 3/8-inch wire mesh floor, 1 inch above the bottom of the chamber, allowed waste material to drop through the drain out of the holes. And the stainless steel, equipped with a food box and water bottle holder, covered with a pyramid top, designed to discourage incarcerated subjects from hanging from the upper part of the chamber.
Jesus Christ.
Basically, they couldn't even like try to climb out properly because it was curved inwards. Like it would always make them slide down that way.
That's fucked up. Why the fuck?
To study isolation and depression and things like that. You see, the thing is that they let this motherfucker get away with a lot. Like you saw some of the things, rape rat.
Criticism. I wonder what the criticism was.
Like this was unequivocally one of the worst things ever done. And if I remember correctly, didn't he have a thing with like a human baby as well?
I don't fucking know. You're the one bringing this to me.
So yeah, I wanted to get your reaction
That's
on
fucked up. Fuck this guy. I hope he's burning in
Harry
hell.
Frederick Israel.
I was going to say he's from Iowa. He's born on Halloween. What a fucking psycho. His birthday's fucking Halloween. Alright, what an actual psychopath. My grandfather's birthday is on Halloween.
That's pretty cool. I think
It's cool.
that's cool.
It is a cool birthday to have.
It is a cool birthday.
Ooh,
But yeah, and you can see
yeah, Freud. What the fuck is the
Freudian
Freudian part of this?
psychology.
What is the Freudian thing here? When you hang a monkey from a cage, it gets sad. When you put a monkey in a cage and take away all sort of stimulation and make it so it can't get out, it makes it sad. This is what Freud described as depression. Like, what the fuck even is this?
The one monkey, like they would set up the thing so that with the two fake monkeys, right? Like they would put a baby in a situation where the one monkey is like this. It's all warm and cuddly.
I think I saw this.
And it's covered with a blanket. But it doesn't provide any food.
Class.
It doesn't provide any food. Whereas the other monkey was like a wire mesh that looked scary.
I did see that.
And, like,
I saw that.
And it gave food.
I saw that.
And they would like, which one would it,
Right. Which one would it
go to? And it would basically starve out.
That's fucked up. Those poor monkeys. That poor monkey. I saw the cloth mother wire mother. I did see the cloth mother wire mother in my intro psych class, and it fucked me up. That looked terrifying.
So yeah,
that's fucked up.
I am so glad that animal testing might be coming to a complete end, because this sort of shit was let fly for years. This was funded by.
Do you know about? I forget the name of it, but there was an experiment with a bunch of fucking rats in a city. There's an Into the Rabbit Hole by Frederick Nunson about it. If you know what I'm talking about.
I think I know the experiment.
You can find it if you type in Into the Rabbit Hole rat experiment or something. If you can find it that way. I remember seeing that and being like, wow, this is fucking insane. That to me is the most iconic instance of really bad animal testing, but that's only because like I don't know. There's a fucking 2-hour long video on it, so I feel like there's a lot to say on that. There's a lot of shit like that. There's a lot of inhumane testing and shit.
Yeah, Rat City.
Rat City, was that really what it's called, or was I just coming crazy because of it? Was it just one of the things I just call things?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's called Rat Park.
Rat Park. Was this it? Hold on. I don't know if this was it.
Series of studies, drug addiction.
Was this it?
Environmental enrichment.
Well, let me pull up the video from Frederick Nunson. Where's the video? The Mouse Utopia Experiments. That's what I'm looking for. The Mouse Utopia Experiments.
I think I found the.
Oh, the behavioral sync. Oh, this thing, John Calhoun.
Yeah, that's
John B. Calhoun. Oh, okay. So this is a different experiment. You were on a rat experiment. I was looking for a mouse experiment. The behavioral sync.
Well, yes, when you say it right.
That top image right there. Yeah, the behavioral sync. That one right there. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at on my screen. Yeah, that article's the one I have opened up. Doesn't that look fucking psychotic? Doesn't that look like some Hellraiser shit?
It does. What the fuck? What were they testing it?
I don't even know. That's what I watched the video and I was just so confused. It's like some shit that a schizophrenic fucking would come up with. It's this is what they want to put me in. This is what they want to. They're gonna break down my door and they're gonna bring me to the machine. And this is the machine they're talking about. I think it was some rats had the worst experience, or some mice, or other mice. Some mice would have some of the worst behavior, have some of the worst, it was a test behavior, and it was, some of them would undergo horrible conditions, while some would overcome really good conditions, and then they'd get put together to see what would happen. I think that's what it was. And he was doing it as a way to test if this would happen on humans, oh, this is what happens when humans are put into a city. That's the sort of deal. And I think that's what if I remember. But Jesus fucking Christ, this is psychotic.
There's a lot of fucked ethics when you start looking into psychology's history of experimentation.
Oh, absolutely, the Stanford prison experiment.
The Stanford prison experiment, the thought experiments that's done by how many shocks you can give a person.
That one. Well, no, that one. If I remember, that one wasn't handled poorly. That one was people thought they were
Yes, but
shocking
it
people,
also
but nobody.
revealed some pretty fucked shit about society.
Yeah, but no, there wasn't actually any ethics issue with like the way it was conducted. It was just like a fucking fucked up outcome. Like, oh shit, people
You
will
say
kill if they're
there's
told
no
to.
ethics issue, but there is a certain ethical line and straight lying to your participants in what they're being studied on. Like, I know that is a
No,
sort
you
of
kind of have to.
requirement,
You
but
kind
there
of have
is an
to have that.
ethical question there.
There is, but I feel like I'm on the side of lie to them. You kind of need that for the study to go through. As long as no one's
Yeah,
doing
but it
harm, then
also
there's no really harm
allows
coming from a lie.
people. It also allows people like Harry Harlow to do the stuff they
Well, don't lie to
do.
the fucking health and the fucking safety inspectors. Lie to the people in the like, yeah, or you fucking you tortured monkeys in there. You hear like a drill going off as the monkeys screaming like, "Rah, rah, rah." It's like, oh no, we're not doing anything
I
wrong.
mean,
Don't
like,
mind me.
like those were some of like the most psychologically fucked experiments. But I mean, they've done much worse to monkeys. They've done crash tests on monkeys.
Oh
Like,
my god, yeah, I know.
there's things out there. Like, you know what, vegans, you can stop eating all the fucking cows you want, but think of the monkeys. Nobody's eating them, but like, there's
Yeah,
bigger issues at play here.
yeah, yeah.
I'm so because you know what they're replacing animal testing with.
What are they testing it with? Replacing it with
Apparently, they have these
live human
little
tests.
no, like how can I put them? Like little chips
Chips.
that are called like organ chips,
Are they
and they're
like?
made from like stem cells.
That's what I was about to say. They're like stem cell, like
Yeah,
small examples of humans represented in like a dish. That sounds like a
yeah.
great way to get a horror movie starting, like a sci-fi
But
horror where
like,
that comes alive.
if you saw what these things looked like, you'd understand. Like, it's
Oh,
super scientific.
I get
Let
what
me
they're
see if I
describing.
can.
I understand the idea. I've read stuff on it before. I've seen stuff on it before. I've had professors who have talked about it before. I think that's a good idea. I'm very much on the side of like I know a lot of people get scared of things like GMOs and genetically modifying, animals so that
Yeah, I
they
think I
provide us more
got
food.
a
I'm on the
picture
side
of
of
it.
that. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, this is what they look like.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck.
Organ on a chip.
Yeah, like in my head, I know it would look like this, but in my head, I'm like, please let it look like a giant human flesh blob in a petri dish that people poke and prod at. That'd be fucking amazing. I know it looks like this though. This is cool.
This and you know what? This is amazing because
This is
apparently
a modern
animal
advancement.
testing is actually just so fucking inaccurate. Like, we
Yeah, because
wouldn't
they're
have
not
gotten
humans.
certain things if they were still testing on animals. Because apparently
Yeah.
it's all the FDA's fault.
Oh, I'm not surprised by that at all.
It's all the FDA's
I'm
fault.
not surprised by that at
Which,
all.
you know, yeah, never a surprise.
Yeah. But I'm happy to if animal testing goes away forever. Of course, I'd be happy with that. I'd be a psychopath if I want to test more drugs on more monkeys. Like,
Save the rats. Save the rats.
yeah, get those rats out of there. I want to do the fucking thing that every children's movie does, where they release all the animals out and like be free, and all the animals are running out the door. I want to do that. I would love to be a child actor on the set of a movie where they're saving their dog from being kidnapped by like animal poachers, and they have the scene where all the animals get free, because every single fucking children's movie has that scene, where all the
I
animals get free.
know.
I want to be the kid in that scene where all the animals are running past me and I get to like shake hands with the monkey, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? With like
Yeah,
the playful music is playing as like the
it's
monkey does a
awful.
little gif, a
It's
little
so
gif,
saccharine.
a little
It's
jig. I meant
so
to say. What
saccharine.
are you talking about? The scene
It's
in the
too
movie?
saccharine. Yeah,
Why?
the whole movie.
What? Well, saccharine. What does
You know what
saccharine
I
mean?
liked? I liked when Jay and Silent Bob rescued the monkey.
What does saccharine mean? Excessively sweet or oh, I get
Yeah.
what you mean, but it's like cute. It's like a kids movie. Who gives a shit?
Yes, but that's why I say like it's not. It's cute, but it's also for me very saccharine.
Okay, so I want to know if this is saccharine. Let me get a good article on that one of these shitty articles.
You said
Is
you had some sort of surprise article
this
up
is the
for
surprise?
you.
Is this saccharine?
Titan sub update footage shows moment wreck discovered. Okay, what does the footage show?
It shows them finding the submarine. This is the submarine that exploded from the billionaire. This is the Ocean Gate submarine.
Oh, it's a piece of it.
It's the submarine. It's the whole. It's like half of it. There it is.
Well,
There it fucking
half
is.
is not whole.
Oh.
They
It's
found a
the
chunk.
main part of it. It's the main bit of it. Look how much lettering. This is a lot of it. This is a lot of it. Look at this fucking thing. I love the way it comes into frame. It's like, oh, there it is. We found it.
I think I saw somebody post, but I didn't actually see the video because it was a Twitter link. And I don't have the Twitter.
Yeah.
I wasn't infected. But somebody just
There it
posted this and said, like, it's literally Subnautica.
That was me. I said that. I said that. Yeah, it's like
I
this.
can't
This
see your Twitter shit, by the way.
can't see my Twitter.
Just a side note.
Really?
I wasn't infected.
Hmm. Well, this is very Subnautica, because in Subnautica there's the little wrecked life pod, like yeah.
I've watched people play Subnautica.
Yeah, just for visual
But
reference. This is what it
you know
reminds me of. I
Do you
fucking
know
love
how
Subnautica.
badly I want to play a Subnautica?
Oh, Subnautica is so fucking good.
I
Subnautica is a
so
great
badly
game.
want to play Subnautica.
Subnautica is a fucking amazing game. I
If I
absolutely
had
would say
Subnautica,
Subnautica is probably the
I'd-
best, like,
I'd be lost.
survival game. One of the best survival games ever. It is so good. I was playing Subnautica since, like, early Subnautica.
The
Like,
thing is that
really
I don't even class this as a survival
it's
game.
a survival game.
It's got such story to it that there is more to it.
There's still, it's a
Like,
it's a survival game that has a story, which I think is always the best way to do a survival game. Because you're still surviving. It's categorically a survival game. You're collecting resources, food, water, making sure your oxygen is good, power, building bases. Like, it's a 10 out of 10 on Steam.
We should do a Project Zomboid run together at some point.
God. Sure, at
You
some
need-
point.
You need to figure out the basics of playing that game because we need to do a Zomboid run at some point.
I would love to, but I fucking suck. The event Subnautica Below Zero, though, was not very well liked. From what I understand, it wasn't very much liked. I don't know much about it. But it's like,
Yeah, it kind
didn't
of
have the same
dropped
energy.
off really quick. But the thing is that it lacked the novelty of
Yeah,
Subnautica.
I guess
if
that's
people
true.
wanted, like, it just felt like it was more Subnautica that people didn't care about.
Yeah. Subnautica
Like-
was like a
It
huge one of
was-
those. It was
they
one of those
had the
Let's Play
problem-
games. It was one of those
they
Let's
had-
Player games that everyone would play and have their reactions to, and that would help boost the game. But Sub-Zero didn't have that, or Below Zero didn't have
Yeah, like
know?
people were already
This is one of those-
enamored
yeah.
with the first one, and it didn't do anything the first one didn't do that was particularly special in a way that brought people in. You see, they had the Portal 1 problem. Can you imagine being on the team, being told you're working on Portal 2?
Oh,
Like,
God.
before the game launches, before anybody knows anything, like, just, can you imagine that pressure?
Yeah, that would have been not a fun time.
Like, at some point, they will need to make a Half-Life 3. Like, not to get into the memes.
Unless
of it,
they're
but at
already
some
making
point unless they're already making it. But can you imagine being on the team of people who's like, you are working on Half-Life 3? If I don't care who you are, but if you're a human being, that's pressure.
Yeah, that is rough. Here's some random footage of Subnautica with no commentary. Just very atmospheric, very slow game that lets like there's really no music in the game unless you enter certain areas. And even the music is atmospheric, it's ambient. It's not
Ambient.
Yeah. It's all about the world you're in.
It is
a very
absolutely-
good game. I fucking love Subnautica.
You're gonna make me like forego eating for the next week so I can just buy this.
No, do not do that. I fucking want to play Subnautica so bad now. I think Subnautica, unironically, like this song too. I love this song. It is really good. It is so good.
You're just making me want to like bankrupt myself.
No, I never actually beat Subnautica though. I was always trying my best to keep up with it as the updates had come out, but eventually at some point I was too bad at the game and too scared of it. Because this is another thing too. Subnautica's fucking terrifying.
It's on sale.
It's on sale. Hold on.
It's on sale outside of my budget.
No.
God damn, this is an
No.
expensive game.
It's on sale. Wow, $15.
Well, we'll see how stream goes tonight.
Yeah. You can get $26 for both 1 and 2.
I would
Crazy.
want both, but that's.
That's
Do you want to know how much it is in rand?
yeah. Tell me in rand.
So just Subnautica, it's 250 rand.
250 rand.
And
Wow.
for the what's it? The Deep Ocean bundle. Yeah, that's both games.
Boy, can I just fucking
450
can I
rand.
fucking what? Who the fuck is buying this? Oops, I just closed Steam on. I didn't mean to. Oh no, I fucked it all up. I didn't mean to close Steam there. I wanted to show. Who the fuck is buying this bundle? Bro, you get Joe Danger, No Man's Sky. Joe Danger.
How much is the Ultimate Collection in dollars
What are you talking about?
of Subnautica?
It was 25. It was $25.
$25. It's 585 rand.
The whole Walking Dead series by Telltale for $10 on sale. I should take a look at the sale later. There's some pretty good games I can play on the stream here for very cheap. Subnautica is also a part of this sale.
Do I just do it?
No, I'm not. I'm not condoning you not eating. I'm not doing that. I'm not condoning you foregoing meals.
How about if I just forego 50% of the meals?
We'll talk about that on stream, off the recording.
Me just sitting here going,
But this would be a
I'm
great
straight.
stream game. This is a perfect stream game because it's so atmospheric and slow, and I feel like you will love those games. And I love listening to you play those games because I mean personally I think the best type of games to play on stream are games where you have a bit of a story. I mean, like a story being told in the way you play it. Like every playthrough is personalized in a sort of way. Like a game where you build a base, or a game where you build a location up, or a game where you build a character, and you can go back to the beginning of the stream, and it's like, oh, this is where this started. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
These types of games are perfect for streams, and perfect for YouTube series, perfect for whatever, perfect for content creation. Because they have a personalization to your playthrough. Every playthrough has a different aspect to it. Whereas a lot of games that are more story based, you kind of just go there to see how the person you're watching
Everybody
reacts
has
to the
a
game.
different approach.
Yeah, yeah. But like if you're going to watch a stream of someone play like I don't know, fucking like Halo, unless it's like there's only a few reasons why I'd go see a random person playing Halo, and it's either one speed running, two I know the person. Like I'm not going to watch someone go play Halo. Like the only reason why people would really watch someone play Halo is if one, they're a fucking super fan. Two, they like the personality that's playing it. Three, speedrunning. Four, they want to see people's reactions to certain parts of the game, right? Or how well someone is. Like that's what like. Whereas with Subnautica, it's like you're watching someone's whole playthrough because you want to see the playthrough. Terraria, Minecraft, you want to see someone like go
The
through this
journey is more
world, the
important
journey, yeah,
than-
rather than just seeing specific moments that you want to see them react to. If they were playing like Last of Us or something.
Yeah. I mean, I even watched, this is gonna be like ancient now, but I remember watching multiple streamers play it, but one of the ones I enjoyed the most was Jeremy Dooley.
Ah, Jeremy. What did you watch him play?
Subnautica.
Oh, Subnautica. Yeah, no. For me, It
I
was
say ancient because he
he's
played it when it
Jacksepticeye.
was more relevant.
Yeah, same.
Obviously.
I was gonna say I watched Jacksepticeye play it a lot.
But
And there was a channel
yeah,
I
it
watched
was
back then called Call Me Kevin, who I'm pretty sure played Subnautica for a time. RT
Achievement
Game
Hunter
too.
was
RT
still
Game, I
going
like him.
strong during that point.
Yeah, that must have been 2016, 2017.
Yeah. R.I.P. Achievement Hunter.
Rest in peace, Achievement Hunter. We can talk about Achievement Hunter for a bit. I would love to talk about
We
Achievement
haven't
Hunter.
mentioned
We haven't,
Achievement
no.
Hunter on the
We haven't
podcast
mentioned,
yet.
I think we mentioned
I'll
Ray
say,
once. I don't know.
I first became aware of Rooster Teeth pre-YouTube. So this gives away my age a little.
No.
I got introduced to Red versus Blue by like a friend of mine who had it on a drive, downloaded it from somewhere, who was just like, hey, you gotta see this shit. And yeah, well, that was still before YouTube, because that was YouTube launched 2005.
Right.
And this was like 2003, 4.
Hmm.
And yeah, seeing the company grow from there, I was
So
a fan for a long
you
time.
this might give away my age, but in 2014, Red versus Blue was put on Netflix, and that's how I found it.
Oh, do you know like that journey is both like very, very yay, but also like wow, ouch at the same time,
Yeah.
because
But still,
like
2014 was like a long time ago. That's 10 years ago. like it's not like I
yeah,
found this
fair.
years after it. Like it was already like it was still going on, and I would argue in its quality years in 2014.
I don't think a lot of
Wait,
like
what
the
year was it?
dialogue is safe for a fucking 10-year-old though.
No, definitely not. I was definitely not supposed to be watching it, but
Like,
I was watching it.
look, the
What
show
was
was
happening?
never over
2014 was the
sexual,
Chorus
even
trilogy.
over violent,
2014 was the
but
middle
it
of the
was
Chorus
foul.
trilogy, which I think the Chorus trilogy was good. But the only ones that were on Netflix was the Blood Gulch first 5 seasons.
The first 5 seasons, I will say,
They
are
are
still my
perfect. They
favorites.
are perfect. I think my favorite season is either 4 or 5,
But I would go as
maybe
far
3.
as to say that my favorite moments in all of Red versus Blue are mostly like season 8.
Season 8's really good.
Season
Season
8 for
8,
me is an absolute peak because it was
I
the
love the final fight of
introduction.
season 8.
It was the introduction of Monty, and they
Yes.
basically let him
Yes,
do
and
whatever
then
the
9 and
fuck he
10,
wanted.
9 and 10 was Monty's fucking heyday. Like that was him going
Yeah,
insane. 9 and
rest in
10,
peace,
9 and 10 is
Monty.
great, and then he died before season 11. Season 11 is really interesting because season 11 is like so Blood Gulch. They go through Blood Gulch. It's them in Halo 1 and 2. You know, blah 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 blah. It's comical,
Yeah,
silly slapstick. And then seasons 6 through 8 tries to add this story, and it succeeds in adding like a really
an actual
like a
narrative.
legit story. Like there was a narrative originally, but the narrative was silly, stupid time travel shenanigans and stuff, and like silly, goofy, ha 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 ha. But then like season 6 through 8 adds like a legit narrative. There's a legit story being told here, and they're taking it
Yeah,
very seriously, and it works. It really works. It's character
the
driven.
backstory for Tex season 4.5 was
Yes,
a good example as well.
yes. Um, yeah, and then 9 and 10 just ham fists it home with the action and all of that. Seasons 9 through 10 is more of seasons 6 through 8, but focusing on different characters and different. And there's also like there's an A plot and there's a B plot of like there's the plot of the main characters in the present and then what happened in the past. And I gotta say, the Project Freelancer stuff I have the same exact thing open up on my screen. Uh, I thought that was funny. Like we have the exact same screens on my screen, like literally. Also, I'm not a
Well, this
coward.
is
I
why
use
you also
this.
have the option to share.
I know. I was just doing it because I liked having your background there. But seasons
So
9 and 10 are like the freelancer stuff in season 9 and 10. I think is like the best action and like the best. I think the best of Red versus Blue from like a technical standpoint. Not in like not in
I
my personal
only
enjoyment, but from a
watched
technical standpoint, 9 and 10 is perfect.
I only watched up to 13.
That's good. That's perfect. Maybe watch 14 for fun, because 14, like it says, there's an anthology with just a bunch of shorts and stuff, and like one-off episodes that are just fun to watch. There's a lot of stuff there that's quality and worthwhile. They had a lot of guest writers on there, like the Game Grumps wrote an episode there, and they did there was like an episode where they had their own characters and they did like a murder mystery, but it was in black and white, so nobody knew if they were red or blue, and it was silly. There was one that gave my favorite one there is
That's
probably
a cool concept.
yeah, there's one that I really like about these three members of Project Freelancer called the Triplets. I think it was Ohio, Idaho, and Iowa, and they were like fucking losers, and then they wind up getting like stranded on a planet or something. And I thought that one was a fun little trilogy. There's one that's animated with like cell shaded 3D
Well, don't tell
animation
me
about.
what every
Well, no,
episode
I'm just
is.
telling you
Like,
what they're about. Like, there's one about Locust and
yes,
Felix, and like it's just cell shaded
yes, you're
animation.
telling me what they're about.
I'm not telling you the story of them. I'm telling you the concept. So, like, because like it's not like they hide this. It's the fucking like description of the episode when you click on it. But I'm
Yeah,
just
but I
telling
could
you what's
also
in
just like
there.
watch it.
All right, cool. I'm just telling you what's in
I
there. There's one that's
I'm
animated to be like an
somebody
anime. It's
who.
cool.
Do you know why 90% of the time I don't care about spoilers?
Why?
Because I've like I got super like autistic focus on filmmaking and films and storytelling for a long
I
time, and
see.
now I tend to call things in movies when I haven't seen
I
them.
see. I see. I see.
So
Um.
people will tell me the first 5 minutes are a concept, and I will tell you how that particular director fucked it up. And then we'll watch the movie and be fucking validated. I'm an asshole. I'm terrible with that. If you tell me the concepts, like I can, like this is why people say like, oh, there's shocking moments in series. It's like, what else did you expect the writer to do? Is like my like, what was it? I think one of my favorite storytelling stories is from Kevin Smith, right?
Of course it is.
So, do you know the movie Red State? I
I do
think it was
not.
called.
I do not.
Let's see if I can just get up the 2011 film. Yeah. So Kevin Smith, writer of Clerks, Mallrats,
Yeah. Yeah.
he made a horror movie called Red State, and there's the ending of the movie. Not to like give away too much, it is going to be kind of spoilers, but essentially the whole movie builds up to like the end of days, right?
Right.
Like the end of the world, the horns blowing, Gabriel, everything. And he says when he was writing the script, he gave it to his editor, his friend, his somebody, and they said like, surely you can't like, actually do this. You can't write like you'd make Clerks. You don't do like this kind of thing. And he's like, watch me. And he actually wrote like a legit end of the world, horns blowing, horns of Gabriel level, fucking end of the
Yeah.
world. And it's just like,
I read the Harvey Boys. It's the Hardy Boys. I was
yeah, this is a legitimately good movie, I will say. Look at the cast:
John
Michael
Goodman.
Fox,
Ooh.
John Goodman. If you've seen what was it? What was Ben Affleck's Argo?
I haven't
Right?
seen it.
So you know what like Argo is about.
No.
Like I think I've mentioned it. It's the one where the CIA went
The,
undercover
the
as
Iran, the
filmmakers.
Iran, the Iran.
The Iran thing, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that Kevin Smith jokes that Ben Affleck watched Red State and then stole his cast. So if you've seen Argo, you've seen a lot of the cast of Red
Yeah,
State
that's fun.
because it stars Michael Parks, John Goodman, like.
Yeah. Go back to Red versus Blue because I wanted to finish my point here before we end the podcast because we're coming up on the end.
All right.
So Freelancer was heavily focused on like action and stuff, and it was heavily deep in the narrative. And it's the end of the narrative that was set
Backstory.
up in the Recollection trilogy up there, right?
Yeah.
So, like, from Recollection and Project Freelancer are heavily connected. They're one continued storyline. The reason why there's a gap there is because there's a time skip between 8 and 9. And then after season 10, season 10
this
is the
lore
end.
and backstory that builds towards like
Yeah.
a lot of those.
Season 10 is like the end of Red versus Blue as it was in terms of like its plot line and its what characters were focused on. Horror's trilogy acts as both a new set of a new scenery while still being able to wrap up the individual character arcs for a lot of specific characters. More, in my opinion, Tucker and Church had their big character finales happen in the Chorus trilogy. That's where they
Yeah.
had like their final arcs end there. Because at the end of the day, the blue team is the fucking protagonists of Red versus Blue. Funnily enough, red team has always just been comedic relief, with some like their own moments here and there, but they're just comedic relief.
Griff is the best.
They really there. Uh,
Griff is the best.
Griff is the best because you love Jeff. Because Jeff is the best.
Jeff is the best.
Jeff is the best. Griff was also my favorite character as a kid. Either Griff or Doc. They were my favorite characters. Just because I really like purple.
Men like Jeff that make me want to be less of a misandrist.
That's a good thing. You should probably stop being that. Hold on, wait. So Chorus Trilogy, because it is coming off of this huge action wave. Season 11 is a lot like Blood Gulch, where they're just sitting around and they call attention to this. Like the whole plot is kind of like a redux version of Blood Gulch's feeling, where they're just sitting around doing nothing, and then 12 and 13 are like, nope, motherfucker, you're not out of the action. You just had a brief respite. You're going right back into that shit. And then I think season 13's ending is fucking perfect. And again, season 14's anthology. I saw season 15 and 16. I fucking hated them. 15 wasn't the worst. There was redeemable qualities to 15. It wasn't good though. 16 was.
I remember seeing a thing that said that Red versus Blue was the longest running sci-fi show on the internet.
That doesn't surprise me at all. It's from before YouTube days.
Yeah, I think they started. When did they say 2002?
2002. 2002.
2003. Sorry, 2003. 2003. So yeah, I probably caught onto it in like 2004.
Oh God, I was born that year.
Shut up. Shut up.
It would be 10 more years until I discovered it.
I've lived lifetimes.
I've
lived lifetimes. So if you caught onto it in 2014, that was around the time of the Chorus trilogy. You basically came in on the end of anything like really great about Red.
Yeah, exactly. But to me, I actually did. But to me, I came in at the beginning because the only stuff on Netflix was Blood Gulch. So I was like fairly in and out. The only stuff I knew was Blood Gulch. Until I started going on YouTube like a year later or 2 years later and actually watched like the rest of it. And then like, so when I actually started watching it, on YouTube, season 15 hadn't started yet.
So what for you was, because obviously aside from Red versus Blue, Rooster Teeth itself became like personalities as well. What was the biggest surprise to you seeing behind these characters?
What do you mean? Like,
for me, it was Caboose.
What about him? Is it the fact that Joel Hammond's a fucking psycho?
Yes.
I was also going to say the same thing.
Like, Caboose is such like a lighthearted,
he's such a happy guy. And then Joel Hammond's like, I will shoot a Black Lives Matter protester if they break into my house. Yeah, he's a psychopath. He's like a crazy right winger, and then they fired him after he said he would shoot a BLM protester if they broke into his house.
Like,
which is like an insane statement. Like that is, or there's so many qualifiers to that statement that it's just like you're expecting black people to break into your home, like. Like I forget what the specifics was, but it was an insane statement that he said.
For me, on a much lighter note, is Sarge, who in the show is very much like, saying the dumbest things in the hardest ways, but very much who you imagine the right-wing Republican gun nut to be. And then like Matt Hullum is actually just like, oh, I'll just be the CEO of the company.
Yeah,
I'm just need to be like.
Yeah, I'm just chill.
I'll just quietly be the CEO and let people do what they want for the most part.
Like, yeah, I'm CEO because there needs to be one.
like, what's it, Church?
Bernie Burns.
Bernie Burns? Like, Bernie didn't want to be CEO, so
yeah, I don't want to do it. I do love early Rooster Teeth. I really do. Everything before like 2018, that's when shit really started hitting the fan, really. So there's everything before 2018 was solid, but everything before like 15, 14, everything before that, amazing. For me, the most nostalgic part of Rooster Teeth is 2014. That's the most nostalgic year for me of Rooster Teeth, because that's when that's most of the achievement or content that I loved to watch was then. That's before Ray left. That's like peak of the Minecraft series, which is like what I always loved to watch.
Yeah. they started to drop off. Like, I think
I mean, I
Bernie
still have pretty
got
memories from 2016,
creatively
17.
tapped out.
Around there,
I think
2015,
once
2016.
Bernie started pulling back, like a lot of things just sort of went very corporate. They got bought out, obviously.
Yeah, by I think
Like,
it was AT&T.
I think
Or
once they got bought out,
it was a child company of AT&T, but they were owned by AT&T.
because they also released that movie.
Laser Team, that was around 2015. And they also had a show, I think it was Day 5, I think it was called.
Bernie, what a
Bernie.
guy.
Laser
Bernie
Team
is the most
2015.
like his character.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Filmography. We have to talk about Ruby some other time. that's something
Maybe
for
some
another
also.
time.
I never got through past season 1. Season 1 was all I watched of
Yeah,
that.
Day 5. I remember Day 5. Where's oh, you're looking at film. You're looking at web shows. You have to go to film. Laser Team 2015. I remember the ads for this one
2015.
time. Yeah.
This was,
Yeah.
I think, where this was a sign of the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
This was the first signs for me.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
love this. I do love this movie.
I haven't actually seen it.
I mean, it's one of those where I sort of accepted how kind of bad it really was, because it felt more like this felt like if you gave your friends a budget.
That's what I was going to say. This feels like this movie. I feel like it would feel like if you just gave Rooster Teeth a big budget, and this is what they would make. Not art. They're making a Rooster Teeth video. They're making a Rooster Teeth sketch that's a movie length and has a movie budget.
Look at that budget.
Jesus
2.4
Christ!
million. They had
That's
2.4
so
million
small!
played with. It's
Oh.
small, but for
Rooster
YouTube
Teeth. I saw the box office. I saw the box office return.
So like
Ah.
nobody. I
Little-
remember like being so excited for this. When I saw it, I was like, oh. Like,
Who's
as
the
I
company
say,
that produced this?
this was
Oh,
produced by
there was
like
no coupon. There was no company.
Bernie and Matt. This was a Rooster Teeth.
There was
This
no
was
company promoted. Oh, I thought this. Oh, in my head, I was always like, "Oh, this is like produced
This
by a
is
company."
what they
I
were
didn't
given
realize
a
that they
budget.
were the budget was just the budget that they actually dedicated to this.
This
This
is
is like
what
an indie
happens when they
film,
pull.
technically.
This is
is
their
a Rooster.
own money.
Yeah, Rooster Teeth's got a lot of flops. I think we should talk about Rooster Teeth in more depth another time because we've been going for an hour 20. Why does Jeff Williams not have his own fucking Wikipedia article? Are you insane? Why does he not have his own
That's
Wikipedia article?
surprising.
That is
Because I was
that's
like, I don't
surprising.
have that raid thing that you have on your browsers.
You know, he doesn't have a Wikipedia article. That's surprising. I feel like
That
he
is
should have one
surprising.
because he's done a lot of work for Street. There's at least a small article you can put there. He's a musician. That's weird.
I mean, I'm sure Monty has one, right?
Monty better have one. Okay, go to like Ruby. Yeah, Monty Ohm has one there.
Yeah,
He has one.
Monty's got a decent one.
Yeah, this is around the size is perfect for someone like Jeff Williams.
Like, Jeff Williams actually worked for
God,
Rooster Teeth longer.
33. God fucking hell.
That's
33 years old.
That's how old I am.
Yeah, that's fucked up with how young he was.
He was literally my age.
Well, he's 10 years older than you. He would have been 43.
Yeah, but when he
from Rhode Island.
passed.
Oh well. Well, now that's the bummer that we're ending this on. Because we've been going for an hour 20. We gotta end this. Jade, would you close your screen so we're not ending this on the face of a dead man, instead on your beautiful photo? Jade actually took this photo.
This photo was taken maybe 10 years ago.
Oh.
On my very fancy camera that got stolen.
Oh.
But
I hope that
this
person
is still one of my
loses their
favorite
kidney.
images.
It is a
from
very
that.
nice pretty.
I do have other photography that I used to do, but I no longer have a camera. And on that note, we'll end.
I hope everyone enjoyed this very long episode of the podcast. We talked about exploding phones and monkeys being tortured and artists we like getting creative burnout and some other ones dying.
You could almost say it was a bizarre adventure.
This really was our JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And with that, I will be ending us off.